Hey guys, I'm back with another update on the website. Like I mentioned in my post, this is going to be a quick one because I haven't really been working on the website again, just because I've been really busy and I just kind of lost interest once again. But I figured it's still worth sharing what I have so far. And it's unfortunate. I feel like I maybe could have been done with the website by now if I didn't constantly, go through these cycles of working on the website and then not working on it. But it is what it is. So compared to my last video, you can see that I've made a couple of changes. First of all, I added a background. This is just some generic background just for the sake of it. It's not going to be the default one. And the board isn't finalized either. I'm probably going to make some changes to it eventually as well. But you can notice that now it's kind of tilted to create somewhat of a 3D effect, I guess, so that it's not completely flat like it was before. And I kind of like it. I think it looks kind of decent. Again, I would probably change it even further and make it look even better. But right now, I'm also trying to figure out some things. Basically, the idea is that at the bottom corner for each player, so from your point of view, the bottom right is where your profile is going to be. That's where your profile picture is going to be, life points. Over here in this area, I'm going to add, like the counters and the dice and stuff like that. And at the top left, conversely, is going to be your opponent's, details, your opponent's profile picture, life points, etc. And then I was just wondering maybe in the left hand side, maybe to put the information of the cards, because right now when you're hovering over cards, it doesn't really display anything. Of course, it's helpful to remind yourself what the effect of a monster is or what the name of a card is or whatever. So I was thinking maybe putting it on the left side and at the top right side to make some space for chat box or something. I don't know. That's kind of like the general idea that I had, but we'll see. We'll see about that. So yeah, basically, right now got my starting hand, 6 cards, and let's say I want to set these Jar of Greeds, I could set them, and let's say I want to activate Graceful Charity, or no, let's say I want to hold it for next turn, whatever. Let's say I just pass, right? Now you can't really see my opponent's POV because I have it open on a different screen, different computer. But let's say the opponent just sets 1 card and passes. So now it's our turn, right? We can draw, and you could just drag and drop. So I implemented basically drawing as well. I don't remember from my previous update what I had or what I didn't have, but I know for sure I didn't have the implementation of drawing cards yet, and certain other things that might have been buggy or whatever. But yeah, I also haven't really made the phase buttons really functional. I mean, you can click on them, but there isn't really like a button or anything to end the turn or to draw for turn or whatever, which it would be automated. The idea is that when your turn starts, you automatically draw a card just like in Dueling Book, and then your hand would probably be automatically shuffled. I would, of course, consider things like drop off and whatnot, and make special edge cases for those types of cards. But yeah, that's kind of the idea, the expected behavior. Anyway, whatever. Let's just pretend we're playing. So let's go ahead and activate both of these Jar of Greeds, drawing 2 cards. Nice. So now we have a Sinister Serpent. So we can go ahead and activate Graceful Charity. Do the double tap for the effect animation, which looks really bad right now, but it's gonna look better. So let's draw 1, 2, 3 cards. Okay, yeah. And there are some bugs, obviously, but it can be fixed. Let's say we discard the Sinister. Kind of unfortunate that we drew the Thunder Dragon just now, but whatever. Let's say we want to keep the spy. Let's say we discard the Koichi, and then we send it off to the graveyard. Now, unfortunately, I don't really have the implementation of something like Thunder Dragon's effect, so you can't really search. You can't do anything. You can't view your deck or add cards from the deck to your hand manually. You can. I just implemented the drawing aspect. But yeah, so whatever. Another thing I haven't yet implemented is, which I was playing around with this. I was thinking maybe if you click on a card once, it's gonna set it in your hand so that you can set it. I don't know if that's ideal or not. That's why I removed it for now. But yeah, let's say we set the Gravekeeper Spy. And let's say we just set the Raigeki Break and pass for turn. So now let's see it from, let's see, like, as the opponent is doing things, let's see how the board updates, right? So let's say the opponent draws for turn. So you can see a card gets added to their hand, and then the opponent flips up Jar of Greed, so another card gets added to their hand. Again, animations are a little bit lacking at the moment. Cards being added to the hand are kind of subtle. But yeah, so let's say, for example, the opponent activates card destruction. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I would add like a button that lets you discard basically all cards at once and then draw all cards at once as well. But for now, it's going to be manual. So there's 6 new cards. And then let's just do it from our perspective as well. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just draw 2, 3. Oh, there's the Thunder Dragon. Okay. Let's say the opponent summons Breaker, activates the effect. Whatever. We're not going to change this. Just want to show you basically, like, at this point, what it looks like when cards are being moved around, essentially. So some animations, I guess, are smoother than others. Some are kind of lacking. This is when it gets set, when it gets flipped to face up defense, or set again, when it gets flipped face up, change to defense, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I mean, everything's synced up. Like, the game is somewhat playable at this point. Of course, there's a lot of functionality that hasn't been added. Like I said, like, for example, if you want to search for cards, or for example, like if you actually want to attack and deal life points and whatnot. But there are other things that I did implement. Like, for example, milling. You could just mill cards by simply dragging them from the deck to the graveyard, which is pretty neat. You could also do the same thing, dragging it to the banish zone. Something that I do need to fix, however, is you can drag a card. So you can drag a card from the deck to the field, and I'm trying to drag this to the spell and trap card zone. So I know that this isn't a spell or trap. I know this is a monster. So obviously this needs to be disabled. You shouldn't be able to ever, drag and drop something from the deck to the graveyard, or I'm sorry, from the deck to the field. Because like I'm doing right now, this is something my opponent's never going to be able to see. And this is obviously, I would be able to predict whether my next card is going to be a spell or trap. It is a risk because if you, like, let's say you do it and it does end up going to the spell and trap card zone, obviously your opponent is going to see that, like this, for example. But right now I'm doing it again, and obviously you can't see it. But if I drag it to the monster zone, now it works. So that's going to be disabled. But yeah, I haven't implemented shuffling the hand either. I have implemented, however, adding back to the hand, but you can see like the hand size is just starting to get comically large, and it just keeps going. Obviously, I would have to, do it, add functionality, kind of like how Dueling Book does it. So I think that's it. Yeah, it's mostly just drawing cards, milling cards, and fixing a lot of bugs, because last time there were a lot of bugs. As you can see, everything right now is synced up perfectly from my screen, from my opponent's screen. Um, Everything's accurate, so there aren't any problems with that. Last time there were some really big issues with that, where cards were either being duplicated or cards were just getting removed for no reason, but I ended up figuring it out, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, this project seems like it's getting pretty close, because like I said, right now it's not the most beautiful implementation, and it's, you can tell it's not super polished yet, um but it's pretty close in terms of playability. But it feels so far at the same time, because I know I just keep taking these breaks, and like I said, I've been getting really busy. I'm going to be getting even busier, unfortunately, so I really have no idea how much interest I'm going to have in this. I'm not going to lie. I really do love the deck builder, and sometimes when I'm building decks on Dueling Book, I wish Dueling Book's deck builder looks like this, um, but it had this functionality, because it's nicer, because the only the Goat format card pool is available here. So if you're searching for something, you're not gonna constantly have to choose, specifically the Goat format card pool and whatnot. It's a lot faster and nicer making decks here. Um, so this currently, as a local project, it's nice because I could build a deck here, and then I could just simply export it and import it to Dueling Book. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna get finished or not. We'll see. So stay tuned.